Well, hello, beautiful ones. It's Stacey here, the head vixen of the Vixen Academy. And I want to welcome you to this very juicy podcast where I'm going to be sharing with you how you can get your groove on with employing these 4 steps to shift your love energy from dating weary to dating dynamite. And so if this is your first time being here with me, you can find out more about me and my sassy work at thevixenacademy.com, where you are in the right place for feminine leadership training the sassy and provocative way through the divine art of seduction and charisma from the bedroom to the boardroom. So let's kind of hop on in where I'm going to be sharing with you how I got my dating groove back on and attracted Mr. Loverboy into my life. At least that's what I'm calling him. I have nicknames. For special people in my life. So, with this, let me first of all let's go take a step back into memory lane where, I hadn't been dating since 2020 when the pandemic, I kind of shut that door down, right? And so I hadn't been dating. And then when I started my nomad journey, men were coming out the woodwork. Oh my word. And it was great. It was fun. However, there was a but. The but was the pattern that I noticed of the men that I was attracting at that time. And this pattern was all these dudes were in transition. I mean, and I was like, wait a minute, that's not what I want to attract. I want to attract a man that was stable, that was set, his life was anchored. And so one of the things I noticed though is in this pattern, I was attracting the lifestyle that I was currently in. I wasn't. I was also in transition. I wasn't stable. I was being a nomad, so I literally was attracting the energy that I was currently in. And so I want you to also think about that for yourself when it comes to romantic relationships more specifically, right? Friends secondarily, but romantic relationships more specifically. And many times when we find ourselves in a pattern that we don't want, many times our initial reaction will be, why does this keep happening to me? Why do I keep attracting the same type of guy or the same pattern or the same situation? And there's like the why? When many times, and that's when we disempower ourselves and we become a victim, right? And here's how you can think differently in order to look at the pattern as what you can see to shift around that circumstance. So since I noticed the pattern was I was attracting men that were in transition, and I noticed I was also in transition. So I said to myself, all right, in order to attract a man that is stable and set, I need to focus on my stability, my foundation. So what happened is my focus went from, ooh, attracting a new love to, ooh, I need to get into my house. And so I made that the priority. So here is where you're going from victim or feeling like a victim to empowering yourself to make change to start getting the results that you would love to get instead, right? So that is what I did. So now let's fast forward. Now I'm in my house. And the first thing that happened to me to open myself up with my love groove again was noticing that my dad was playing matchmaker on the other side and he was giving me a sign. I did a podcast about that. You may want to listen to that first so you can hear that funny story, which leads into this one. So, after having that funny episode of how my dad was playing matchmaker from the other side, this is when I said, okay, girl, let's really sit things down and really kind of get your love groove and get your love energy in complete alignment. And so when I got into that space, right? After, and no pun intended about, my house also being in my space, I really focused on these 4 steps that I want to share with you. Because if you follow these 4 steps, not only Will you go from dating weary to dating dynamite? You'll have a lot of fun in the process all at the same time. So here is step number one that I did, and it was to play. Yes, play. A four-letter word that is much more enjoyable than fear. So step number one is play. Have a good time in life. Enjoy what you are currently doing in your life. So for me, one of the things to be proactive about that is I joined Meetup and I started going and joining these Meetup groups in activities that I love to do. So I did a hiking group, an art group. I also joined some singles groups that were around activities, right? Going out to do things and various stuff like that. I didn't want to, and here's the one thing I didn't do. I didn't go on any meetups that were around speed dating. I didn't do that because what happens is I wanted to get to know people. And so that's why I wanted to do activities. So that was one of the first things is to remember to play. And so I wanted to do things that I enjoy doing because what happens is if you meet someone during an activity or activities that you like doing, you all already create a bond between that person that you can build off of. Right. So that's why I wanted to do activities. I wanted to have fun. It didn't matter. Like, say, for example, if my girlfriends were like, hey, Stacey, let's go out and do this. Sure. Because even though I was going out with my girls, who knows, in the environment or activity I was doing, I could meet somebody. Right. And so that is the first step is remember to play. Because dating is not a job and it shouldn't feel like a job. It should be fun. And so that's the first step to get you into the feeling, into the vibration and the energy of fun. And it is to play because you also want to play with your partner. You want to play in your relationships. You want to play in romance. That's why it's step number one. All right. Here is step number two. And this one may surprise you. Online dating. And the thing is to be or not to be, right? With online dating, which is literally, you may say, well, Stacey, that's the opposite of what you were saying the first time of doing activities that you can have fun and that you can play. Well, here's a little twist that I would love for you to think about when it comes to online dating. Well, because of the pandemic, I have become very, just weary of everything on the internet. Just like it was like internet overload, because that's how we were communicating during the pandemic. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do online dating because of that. Now, one of the things around that energy, look at the energy that I just had around online dating. Oh my gosh, I don't want to do online dating. How many of you had the same feeling, the same reaction? When you think of online dating, you're like, you think of it like a job, right? More than anything else. So I said to myself, how can I turn that around and literally make online dating fun? So, because I've had tremendous success with online dating in the past, it's just the pandemic just made me weary of being and meeting people and connecting online. So I said, okay, girl, how can you change that around? So this is how I changed my mindset to now start embracing and making online dating fun. I said, you know what? Let me have a good time with my dating profile. So that was the first thing I started doing. I said, let me see, how can I make this fun? And in the introduction that I was doing with my online dating profile, I started it and I'm a sci-fi fan, and I really love Star Trek. So this is how, if any of you are Trekkies, right, you'll recognize this. So this is the opening paragraph I was writing for my online dating profile. And I said, dating, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the starship Match.com to go places that you've never gone before. And when I was writing that, I was cracking up. laughing. And when I was sharing that with some of my friends, they were rolling laughing. And that is the energy I want to have coming through my online dating profile. And that is what started to making it be fun for me. I was like, okay, this is what can make it fun. And think about it this way: a guy reading that, he is going to be laughing his butt off. And if he is a sci-fi fan, he will know immediately where that came from. And guess what? That also creates an immediate bond in which you can build off of. And plus, guys love a girl that has a sense of humor. That will definitely open up a man to reach out and touch you. Trying to use an old AT&T, or is it Con Edison? I can't remember one of those, like reach out and touch you kind of things. But what happens is that is what helps motivate a guy to want to contact you. And in the email he'll write to you, if he read your profile, the first thing he's going to mention is the funny paragraph that opened it up. That way you also know he read your profile. Okay. Because I also take, when I teach around online dating, one of the things I say in online dating, men look at all the pictures first. And then if you're lucky, then they'll read the profile. So here's a way you guarantee that he will read that profile. He'll be cracking up and he'll want to contact you. So that is number 2. With online dating, make it fun for you. How can you make it fun for you? That is how I made it fun for me. And also, online dating is like window shopping, right? All these guys contact you and you get to window shop. How fun is that? Right? And things of that nature. And so change your mind. These are ways that I really shifted my mindset, and how you can shift your mindset so that it's not something that is like, oh God, online dating, to like, hey, I'm going window shopping for men. It's raining men. And that's one way you can do it as well. So that is step number 2, is changing your perspective of online dating. All right. Step number 3 is creating what I call a love mood board. Now, what this is a mood board, it's a powerful vision board that is pumped up with energy. So many times when we do vision boards, we take pictures like, okay, take a picture of a couple, or take pictures that, that are like about love and romance and things of that nature. That's where you start, but that's only one part of it. Having pretty pictures up there, but your emotions aren't attached to those pictures. It's like, yeah, I want to have a really nice car, but I don't put any gas in it. So it's like an expensive paperweight, and it's pretty to look at, but it's not going to go anywhere. So that's what, to me, most vision boards are around. They're like something really good to look at, but what is the gas that you're going to give it to really pump it up with power and to make it go? And so for a vision board, that is showing images that really exude powerful energy and strong, positive love connections. So on my love mood board, I put images up there of couples that I really admire. Couples that exude a reaction, a love reaction from me. Like, man, that is so amazing. I love how they are bonded together. And then you think about how these two people are bonded together, and that is the mood, that is the energy that you put into your love mood board, right? And so that is what changes it, just from pretty pictures to something that is, bam, empowered with energy, making it stronger, allowing it to manifest. And then step number 4 is employing the mystic design technique and doing it around a bedroom design that is embedded with love, right? And so, I teach the mystic design, technique that first got introduced in Love Goddess. And so this is something that I embed in my house. It's embedded in my bedroom. But it's also taking energy from the overall design in my house. So in step number 4, to really embed within my bedroom my love intentions about, calling in romance, calling in a new love, is one, overall my bedroom. First of all, let's take a step back. My whole entire house, I have it set up like an art gallery, because art is my happy place, right? I've shared this with you many times. Art is my happy place. So in my house, I have art installations all over my house. My living room, I have in my office, I have in my sanctuary, as well as my bedroom, as well as my bathroom, but a real huge one in my bedroom. And so in my bedroom, I have a huge art installation that is my love altar. All of the paintings, all of the images in my bedroom are attuned to love and romance. Okay. Those should be the only images in your bedroom, should be attuned to love and romance. No pictures of children and no pictures of family either. Okay. Just love and romance. That is it. And so what happens is, in my bedroom, I have this dresser bay, and that whole entire wall is my love altar. And with it, I have a huge painting, which is the foundation of the design in my bedroom. And see, that's also how mystic design works. You have a painting, so you're using art therapy, and that painting is also a vision board. And it also is a painting that exudes a lot of positive, loving emotions and feelings. All right. So this is actually taking step number 3, which is your love mood board, and taking it to a whole new level, right? Really embodying with it, with that bam, that intensity, that dynamite that you want to attract and have that within your world. So what happens is, from my love altar, I then embedded colors, embedded fabric, embedded things I did for my on my bed. I even have a what am I call it again? I almost forgot the name. A tea light holder, right? A tea light holder. You can see it in the image. That tea light holder, that is the same in the painting that is there. And that painting is a tantric symbol. It's called the Yab Yum, is what it is. And because I wanted to attract in my world a spiritual relationship, a spiritual partner, I wanted to be a spiritual union that was sacred and that was also very, very sensual, sexual, and yummy all at the same time. And that painting exudes that for me. That is that meaning that is there. So I also have in my bedroom, I employ aromatherapy by the fragrance, a custom fragrance that I developed. That's also something that I teach in Love Goddess. And I burn that fragrance in my bedroom. And I also embedded crystal grids. I have a couple of crystal grids that are also in my bedroom. They're actually under my bed. Okay. So these are all elements of mystic design, which I teach, so that you can do this as well in your bedroom. So those are the 4 steps that I took to really get my love groove back on. And let me share with you the results of that. All right. This is a whole case study in how this whole thing works. Also, especially how mystic design works. So, like I said, I joined some meetup groups. So after, you know, that happening where I met this gentleman on Christmas Eve, what I said was like, okay, girl, let's do the meetup thing. So I went into meetup and I was like, oh, this event interests me. That event interests me. This event interests me. I was like, okay, I attended, I RSVP to these. And one of them was to an art event that one of the singles groups was hosting in an area of town that I really like. And in this particular event, 72 people RSVP'd to this event. And like I said, it was a singles group for people that were 45 plus, because I also wanted someone that was mature, ready for a relationship at that time in their life. And yes, 45 plus, I am all open with dating a younger man. I'm okay with that. So what happened is I RSVP'd to this, and one or two of my other friends were also going to go with me because they were single as well. So the day before the event, trying to confirm everything, my two friends, they weren't able to attend. Well, I'm like, I'm going anyway. So I went by myself. Yes, I did. So I got to the event, and I got there about 10 minutes early. And they said that because it was a lot of people that RSVP'd to this, they were breaking people down in groups of 20. Well, I got there 10 minutes early so I can kind of like see how they were doing the groups. Well, when I got there, there was just this small group, and the host was there, and she said, "Oh, because there were so many people, two or three groups had already gone in. So we're going to be in the very last group to wait for the stragglers that come in exactly when it was supposed to start." I was like, okay. And in that group happened to be the gentleman that I'm now dating, who I call Loverboy. He was in that last group with me. So when I first saw him, I was like, ooh, he's cute. All right. So, but we were also there to see the art. Actually, it was kind of funny. It kind of turned out to where I was primarily there to see the art. And it wasn't like I forgot, but it being a singles group became secondary. The art became primary. And so a bunch of us were in this group, and it was a really cool art exhibition that was there. I really enjoyed the art that they were displaying. And one installation was all about the beautiful feminine form. So, you know why I was totally into that. And so, as we were going through it, people were talking, people were engaging, and, him and I, we were talking back and forth. We were like doing that with everybody. It wasn't anything that was like singled out at the moment. And then when we went into this other room, I was looking at this one painting because it was a modern art museum. I was looking at this one painting, and it was all orange. And I made this comment like, okay, this is a part of modern art I don't get. It's all orange. What is up with that? And so that's when, and I just said that out loud. And then that's when he said to me, well, look at the different textures in the painting. Go a little closer and look at how the light is blah, 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 blah. And so he was going through all that. And I was like, wow, that's a different perspective. I really didn't see it that way. Now that you point that out, I definitely see what you're talking about. And that is what started it all. From there, we did the rest of the museum walk pretty much together within the group we were in, right? And so we were having a good time talking about the different art and talking about what we liked about it, how it moved us, et cetera, et cetera. And this is how we were getting to know each other. So I'm also giving you steps on the steps you can take unofficially to segue into getting to know someone a little bit more. And this is how we were doing that. So one of the things for this meetup, after the art walk on the inside, people were then going to get together to have a group lunch. Now, since we were a very large group, the main organizer said, okay, we're splitting up and how we're going to have lunch because we're in a really large group. So she said, a group who wants to stay here with me at the museum to eat at their restaurant will be here. And then here were the other two groups. So I said to him, well, I always plan to have lunch here because I looked at the menu ahead of time. So then he said, I'll stay here as well. Okay. So I was the one that kind of led that part. So it was a group table. We had to go inside and order our food, and then they would bring it on outside. So the two of us, we got two chairs sitting next to each other. We had something there to save our spaces. And then we went inside to order lunch, and to which he only got one menu. So since he only got one menu, we had to share it. That is an indication of coming a little bit closer and sharing that. So picked what we wanted. And then I saw something on the shelf while we were waiting to place our order. And it was a candle, but I really liked the bottle of it, but there was no price on it. So then I said to him, I was like, okay, let's see how much it's going to be when we get up there. And in my head, I did not say this to him. In my head, I said, if it's less than $10, I'll buy the candle. If it's more than $10, that's okay. And then I'll put it back. So then we went up and I asked how much it was, and it was more than $10, to which I said, okay, that's all right. And then she put it back over to the side. And then this is what he did. He picked up the candle and he put it right back over. He was buying it. Like, okay. So that was his first gift to me. And that is actually one of my love languages, is receiving gifts. So he was already hitting on one of my love languages. So ordered the food and he was like, I'm paying. All righty then. Another love language. And that was an indication he's very interested. So she gave us our number. We went back to our table. Everybody was there. We were all talking, having a good time. Him and I, we were shooting the shit, right? And things of that nature. And here were some synchronicities that appeared in my conversation with him. Mind you, we just met each other. Here was synchronicity number one that was glaring. He has the same name as one of my ex-husbands, and he's left-handed, like that same ex-husband. Okay. That was synchronicity number one. Synchronicity number two, his youngest sister is named Stacey. Okay. Synchronicity right there. How, so that was like the first thing, was like, okay, the universe is telling me, pay attention, girl, because that is a glaring synchronicity. Okay. Here's the next thing. Let's keep on going with these synchronicities, because you remember, I teach you synchronicities also teach you, one, the decisions to make. Synchronicities also show you where your energy is at and how you're aligned. Synchronicities also helps you, I think I already said, helps you make decisions. And it also tells you, all right, there's more to investigate here. Let's keep going with this. So the next synchronicity was, boom, we're both from Brooklyn, New York. That was synchronicity number three. Synchronicity number four. He actually toured the college that I ended up going to, and I toured the college that he ended up going to. So how is that for another synchronicity right there? All right. The next synchronicity is he's also in the affordable housing profession. And when I told him my story about my tiny, he just cracked up laughing, because he's like, yeah, that's part of affordable housing, right? So that was another synchronicity that was there. Here's the next one. Oh, he keeps going. Here's the next one. You remember I said in my bedroom empowerment, that painting that is there, spiritual connection, that's the Yab Yum. It's Tantra, and Tantra is also in Hinduism and Buddhism. Well, he's been a practicing Buddhist for 30 years. There you go. So I was like, hello, my painting. There it is. And also, with mystic design. What did I say? I set up my house like a gallery, and art is the inspiration that you embed with your mystic design. And where did we meet? In an art gallery. All right. So look at all of those synchronicities. And what do you think that was telling me? Hello, he is a response to taking these 4 steps and getting my energy in alignment and getting my love groove on and everything else. And so all of that occurred 2 weeks after I said no to the gentleman that I met, because Loverboy, his energy really reminds me of the partner that I said no to when I was a teenager. So when one door closes, another one opens. Another one opens. And so that is my funny story. And yes, that was in January at the beginning of the year. And we are still having fun. We are still kicking it. And he is still my lover boy that is there. So I will share more about the whole journey and everything, the expansion and the fun. So what happens is I would love for you to take this fun story and these 4 steps and really embrace them to not only attract new love into your life, but also if you are currently in a relationship and you are coupled, to make that relationship even juicier. How can you have more fun and play in your relationship, right? How can you create an environment as if you are dating for the very first time, right? Create a love mood board together, right? Pictures of the two of you having at the time of your life. And then from there, really work on your bedroom to create more passion and fun, right? So if you're coupled, that's how you can also rev up your love groove, right? And so that's what I wanted to share with you. And if you want any assistance in doing that, go ahead and shoot me an email. And so get in touch with me so I can help you get your love groove on. And you can email me at vixenacademy@gmail.com. And with that, everyone, we are complete, and namaste.